Today, we're diving into a topic that's deeply rooted in our history and still profoundly affects us: hate. Hate can divide communities, fuel conflicts, and cause unimaginable suffering. In this 4-part series, we'll explore hate, fear, forgiveness, and kindness, emotions that shape our world. Let's start by understanding hate, its roots, its impact, and how we can rise above it. Hate is an intense feeling of hostility and aversion, often stemming from fear, anger, or a sense of threat. It shows up in many forms, from subtle biases to violent attacks. Hate is a destructive force that can consume individuals and societies, but understanding it is the first step towards overcoming it. Looking back through history, we see how hate has led some of humanity's darkest chapters. The Holocaust, driven by anti-Semitic hatred, resulted in the loss of 6 million Jewish lives. The Civil Rights Movement was a response to systemic racial hatred and inequality. The apartheid in South Africa institutionalized racial discrimination, causing immense suffering. These events remind us of the catastrophic consequences of unchecked hate, and we must learn from these lessons to prevent history from repeating itself. Psychologically, hate often arises from fear and a sense of threat. When we feel threatened by someone different from us, our instincts can be to react with hostility. This reaction is rooted in our evolutionary past, where survival depended on quickly identifying and reacting to threats. However, today, this instinct can be harmful. By understanding the roots of hate, we can learn to control and redirect our responses to others. Empathy and education are key to overcoming these deep-seated biases. Hate has profound impact on society. It leads to violence, discrimination, and division. The scars it leaves are not just physical, but emotional and psychological. Communities are torn apart, progress is halted, and the cycle of hate perpetuates further conflict. Hate polarizes societies, creating the us versus them mentality that hinders cooperation and understanding. We see this across the globe, where intolerance and bigotry cause widespread suffering. On a personal level, hate can destroy lives. It fosters loneliness, depression, and anxiety. Many who experience hate carry these burdens throughout their lives. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind." The cycle of hate perpetuates more hate, leaving us all in darkness. It isolates individuals, it erodes their self-worth, and it creates a pervasive sense of fear and mistrust. But there is hope. Acts of kindness and understanding can break this cycle. This is a powerful story of overcoming hate. Malala, the young Pakistani girl, was targeted by the Taliban for advocating for girls' education. She was shot in the head, but she survived and continued her fight for education and equality. Malala's story is one of immense courage and resilience in the face of hate. She turned her suffering into a global movement, inspiring millions to stand up against hate and injustice. Hate is not invincible. We have the power to overcome it. It starts with understanding and empathy. Nelson Mandela said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion." So people must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Education, open dialogue, and acts of kindness can break down the walls of hate and build bridges of compassion. By reaching out and understanding those different from us, we can dismantle the prejudices that fuel hate. A world where love overcomes hate, where we celebrate our differences rather than fear them. It starts with each of us. Reach out to those different from you. Stand up against injustice and spread kindness. Dr. Seuss wisely said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. But together we can create a world where love triumphs over hate. And this journey isn't easy, but it's necessary. And remember, this is just the beginning. In our next episode, we will explore another powerful emotion that shapes our world. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will dive into understanding fear and how we can conquer it.